Hi everyone, my name is Lena Carleton, and as of this recording, I'm a third-year resident in the Combined Emergency and Internal Medicine program at the University of Illinois, Chicago. My talk is called Organizing is the Best Medicine, and I'll be discussing the past, present, and future of resident unions. I have no disclosures. So we're going to start with the history of resident labor organizing. We're going to zoom through about 90 years of history here, so stay with me. In 1935, the National Labor Relations Act was passed, which guarantees the right of private sector employees to organize into unions, a right which public sector employees already had at that time. In 1936, the first union representing resident physicians was established in New York. This organization, called the Intern Council of America, advocated for better working conditions for resident physicians and also had a voice in national issues, including supporting a national health insurance plan. In 1957, the Committee of Interns and Residents, also called CIR, was established and would later go on to become the largest resident physician union. In 1976, in a case involving the house staff of Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, the National Labor Relations Board made a critical ruling where they stated that resident physicians are primarily students, not employees, and therefore not allowed to unionize. Now, importantly, this ruling only applied to private sector hospitals, so residents at public hospitals could still unionize at that time. In 1999, in a case involving the house staff at Boston Medical Center, this decision was reversed and resident physicians were reclassified as employees and therefore allowed to unionize. This decision to classify resident physicians as employees was later upheld by the Supreme Court in 2011. So, where does this leave us today? Well, as of 2021, approximately 15% of resident physicians are represented by a union, and union membership is on the rise. Here's a list of all residency programs that either have a union or have filed for union certification, with residents from 8 of these hospitals having filed just within the last 2 years. So, why are so many residents joining unions? As a union organizer, I wanted to share my own experiences of what we hope to achieve at UIC, and also hopefully dispel some common myths. Whenever I've told someone that I've been involved with organizing a resident union, I've been met with one of 3 questions. What are you asking for? Are you going to strike? And are you going to lose your job? And I want to frame the value and benefits of a union through my responses to these questions. So let's start with, what are you asking for? Now, this may be the part where some of you are waiting to see if I'm going to air all of my hospital's dirty laundry and tell you about all of our problems, most of which are not unique, and many of which are probably the same problems that your hospital or your residency programs are facing. And I listed here a few big ticket items that we did bring to the table for negotiations, all of which are pretty standard. But by focusing on any individual issue listed here, we're missing the bigger point. Because we've already won something more meaningful than any issue we could ever bring to the bargaining table. We won the right to negotiate a fair contract. Prior to unionization, we had no input in our contract and really no infrastructure in place to make changes. Our union has given us a voice with the power to effect change. On to the next question. Are you going to strike? And as long as we're able to engage in good faith negotiations with the university, the answer is no. And I think this question about strikes gets asked for 2 reasons. For one, folks want to know what kind of power the union will have and how it will use that power. And to this, I would say that there are many ways for a union to engage its members and convey a strong message that do not involve a strike. The other reason I think folks ask this question is because they want to know how forming a union will affect our patients and want to be assured that it will not have a negative impact on patient care. And in fact, folks are often surprised to learn that many resident unions have actually leveraged their power to advocate for changes that have positively impacted patient care. Through patient care funds, residents have been able to purchase new equipment, provide patients with pharmacy vouchers, and even develop a refugee health program. And at my hospital, we hope to similarly be able to use our negotiating power to improve our working and learning conditions, as well as the care that we're able to provide for our patients. Lastly, I've been asked if I thought I was going to lose my job for being a union organizer, and if other folks might lose their jobs or face retaliation for signing up to be a part of the union. Regarding the first question, I can confidently say that I am still gainfully employed at UIC, And I've been really fortunate to have been supported by my program throughout our union organization campaign and now in our bargaining phase. Unfortunately, this is not the case for all residency programs, even at my own institution. And while there are legal protections in place to prevent residents from being fired for unionizing, a lot of residents feared other forms of retaliation. And I think this speaks even more strongly to why we need a resident union, so that all residents can advocate for change, both within their programs and within the hospital system at large, with strength in numbers and protection from retaliation. We didn't come to unionization from a place of desperation or anger. We came from a place of empowerment and optimism about our careers, our futures, and our ability to make changes that can improve patient care, as well as our working and learning experiences. I want to end my talk today with an invitation to be our ally. To the residents listening to this talk, join us, seriously. And to the attendings, residency program leaders, and administrators, support us as we pursue the form of advocacy that best meets our needs. Thank you so much for your time and attention. And these are my references. Thank you.